Deep breaths, my fam. Breathe in, breathe out. Hello, world. Perez Hilton here and Perez Hilton there. So much drama, Holly weirdness to get to today, including talking about Johnny Depp, and his fans may not be happy with what I have to say. Johnny Depp is not so innocent. Also, a juicy exclusive, Tori Spelling at war with her own mother. I've got an update on Amanda Bynes. It's not good. Talking Harvey Weinstein, Harry as well, and Meghan. But first, I need to be honest and transparent with you guys. I'm freaking out. I'm trying not to freak out, but I am freaking out. Not for myself, but for my mother and this thing that the whole world is having to deal with right now. I tried to get my Cardi B on. Cardi B went in full-on hoarding mode. I went to Amazon.com. They're out of everything. They still have it, but you won't get hand sanitizer. You won't get alcohol, rubbing alcohol until April. It's scary. Not for me, but for those like my mother who are older. Also, my mother has asthma. What I did do, what I was able to find, and what I suggest everybody who considers themselves, like my mom, to be at high risk is buy gloves. I bought my mom surgical latex gloves so that whenever she leaves the house, silly as she may look, she is extra protected, because those masks, don't buy the masks. The masks don't work. How you get infected is by touching something that's already been infected and then touching your face, your nose, your eyes. Surgical gloves, or I don't know, gloves that you wear in the winter, those work. But my mom didn't want winter gloves. My mom wanted surgical gloves. So that's what I bought her, those blue latex ones. And I'm going to make sure to also stay away from her if for whatever reason I pick up anything, which thankfully I don't have anything. And I'm trying to go about business as usual. I'm still going to the gym. I'm going to the dentist in a little bit. It's so wild because for the longest time, I was not worried. Thank you, Knack HB. Appreciate you in the super chat so much. But what really triggered me today, the E word, was this report from NBC News. The attending decision for Congress and the Supreme Court, okay? This is a real thing, okay? NBC News reported that this guy, his name is Brian Monahan, presented to Congress that he believes between 70 to 150 million people in the US alone are going to get this. 70 to 150 million people. And we all know what we are talking about. I don't need to mention the name because I don't want this being demonetized. Previously, the World Health Organization said that the rate of those passing as a result of this awfulness is 3.4%. More recently, experts think that that's not an accurate number. They think that the true number is 1%. But if you do the math, and if 70 to 150 million Americans get this, if 1% of them pass, that means at least 1 million people are going to say bye-bye as a result of this. I just can't believe that. I choose not to accept that as a reality. I mean, the situation is so grim that in Italy, earlier this week, on Monday, they began a quarantine for the entire country. Hey, Cayman, good to see you. We were just chatting on Twitter earlier today. Well, today, no, not today. I don't want to give you false information at all. Coming soon, the quarantine in Italy is going to get even stricter, more stringent, harder, because Italy, I believe in the last 24 hours, had an insane amount of people perishing as a result of this awfulness happening all over the world. Oh, I'm not going to linger too much on this because I do want this to be an escape. I honestly was contemplating not even making today's video. My brain is that consumed by this right now. Queen J. Ray, we love you. We love you, Queen J. Ray. But I did it. I put on a nice shirt for you all. I put my book cover in the background, which if you haven't picked up a copy of my new memoir, TMI, My Life in Scandal, you can order it right now at perezhiltonbook.com. That's perezhiltonbook.com. It's also on Amazon, something that Amazon still has in stock. And I even picked out a matching cup for you all. Yes, I know the number in Italy. I just didn't want to say it. Ugh, a lot, okay? Just in the last 24 hours. Thank you for the super chat, Jay Lynn. I even saw photos, paparazzi pictures of Sylvester Stallone shopping at Whole Foods. He was wearing gloves. That is really what prompted me to get gloves for my mother because I need to protect her at all costs. If there's anybody in your life that is like my mother at high risk, get them gloves. Let them be silly if they're going to go out and about. Have them gloves and not be near people at least 3 feet. Anyways, we here in America are making major changes. If you haven't heard, NBA and the NBA has announced, Karen Tide, thank you, has announced that the upcoming game between the Golden State Warriors, I believe, I don't know, some game in San Francisco. I don't follow basketball, but professional basketball is going to be played without fans in the arena. College basketball is going to be played without fans in the arena. Oh, thank you, DJ Rockstar Aaron. A big hug to you, my old fabulous friend. RuPaul's Drag Race has been canceled. The DragCon convention, not the show, thank God. Came in. Lil Co, people are donating by hitting the dollar icon underneath the chat box. Seriously, DragCon has been canceled. And at first I thought, oh, people are overreacting, but now I don't think we're overreacting now. I think we need to make it the most global priority to try to find a vaccine. A to the S to the P. Pearl Jam canceled their entire US tour. Do what you gotta do. Wendy Williams is not having a studio audience anymore. Speaking of Wendy, let's move on because I've talked enough about this thing already, okay? If you also want a distraction, I'm posting fun, silly videos on TikTok. Celine canceled. Ay, ay, ay. Celine Dion. Let me see. Oh, no, but that's just because of the cold. Celine just has a cold. Everybody, Celine just has a cold. Hey, Neum. On her show, Wendy Williams reignited her feud with Nicki Minaj, talking about her husband, you know, the one that is a registered blank offender, the one that did time for manslaughter, etc., etc. Wendy had this to say about Nicki. Well, apparently the way this show is going today, we did not have enough time to get to Nicki Minaj's husband. But let me tell you something, Nicki. That's going to be my first story tomorrow. And I'm going to lead with this. You should have never married him because now you've ruined everything about what your brand could be. Again, you are never going to stand a chance when you are with a man who pulls a blank at blank point, a registered blank offender. I gotta keep it clean on YouTube. You are never gonna stand a chance with the public. Hi, passenger shaming. There's only one thing worse than blanking children and pulling blank, and that's blank. By the way, he did go to jail for blank. Oh, I think I just did the story. No, get to digging. There's more on it. Everybody get to digging. Get to digging. All these blank, you know what? We're working within our system, okay? I'd rather keep it sanitized on YouTube and work within the system. For the longest time, oh my God, Hot Like Hero. So kind, and I haven't seen you in a while, Hot Like Hero. Thank you. If some of you have been following me for a long time, you'll know that for many years there, I stayed off of YouTube. I stayed off of YouTube because I got into some stupid fight with YouTube. And I regret that because had I been active on YouTube for a while before I really made it a priority, I would have had a lot more of a following on YouTube. Dennis, no, that's not laying. I'm jumping. If you can't see, I'm in the air. That's me jumping. Anywho, I agree with Nicki, with Wendy. Where is the lie? Everything she said about Nicki Minaj is true. I mean, but like, duh, we knew Nicki's music career has been over for a while. What is Nicki's last hit? Well, no, she had a hit, but her last hit was featured. She was featured on that Tekashi song. That was a hit. I couldn't remember the name of the song, but it was a hit. Wendy clearly does not like Nicki. Fifi, right, CP. All right, from Nicki Minaj's problematic and troubled husband to Harvey Weinstein, whom today was sentenced to 23 years in jail. Aw, thank you, Hot Like Hero. You were missed, and I appreciate you so much. Harvey Weinstein is 67 years old. If he were required to serve the entire 23 years, I'd say this is fine. But if they let him out in 5 years, in 6 years, not long enough, I say. He's been convicted of blank, multiple counts, multiple charges. However, there is what I would say good news. I don't want to, like, even framing it that, like, I still have a heart. He's been sentenced to 23 years in prison from this judge in New York. It should be noted that Harvey Weinstein still has to face trial here in Los Angeles, so he could be sentenced to even more time from a different judge and a different case. He should. I also have a feeling that we might have a Jeffrey Epstein situation, if you know what I mean. Can't even say the S word, because YouTube's got robots reading everything. But yeah, I think we might have that happen. I don't wish that upon him. Even though he wished awful things upon other people. Did you guys read what Harvey Weinstein said about Jennifer Aniston? Harvey Weinstein, in an email to his publicist at the time, the idiot said that Jennifer Aniston should be offed. Who says that? And he wasn't even joking. He wasn't even joking. I don't think clearly his publicist could have made that happen, but just to even verbalize, to put that in writing, what a monster. And then in court today, the craziest thing today. Did you guys hear what Harvey Weinstein said in court today? He apologized. He felt horrible, blah, 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 blah. However, he said this: I think men are confused about all of this. The feeling of thousands of men and women who are losing due process. I'm worried about this country. This is not the right atmosphere in the United States of America. Dear criminal, you were found guilty. You are not the right atmosphere for America. You are evil in human form. This guy was clearly brain damaged. He clearly was psychotic and thought that it was okay to do all of this. Or not even. He thought he could just get away with it. But thankfully, he didn't. All right. Over the last 24 to 36 hours, my Twitter specifically has been flooded with tweets by Johnny Depp fans. You know what's interesting? I did not realize this. Johnny Depp has a large group of very passionate fans, just like the Backstreet Boys. And Johnny Depp fans and Backstreet Boys fans are probably around the same age, overwhelmingly female, and a lot of them seem to have a lot of time on their hands to try and be detectives and try and solve this and make sure that the other person is proven wrong or this or that or the other, in relation to the Nick Carter allegations or in relation to the ongoing drama between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, Amber Heard. Over this last week, there have been multiple reports about the ongoing court case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Thank you, Martina. Oh, Rotterdam. I need to go back. Well, I've never been to Rotterdam, but I've been to Amsterdam. I need to go. I appreciate you all so much for watching me. Pause. Lil Co. Yes, Aaron Carter is doing adult work right now. And earlier this week, I spoke about Chad Johnson, the reality TV star. You guys know him from The Bachelorette or Celebrity Big Brother UK. He got into that whole domestic dispute with his girlfriend. Well, he and the girlfriend are now back together and they've launched their own OnlyFans. They've launched their own adult Back to Johnny Depp. It's 10:30 in the UK now? It's not 5 hours ahead? Have you guys not done the whole switching of the time thing? Interesting. Anyways, I said on Twitter, as a result of just this ongoing awfulness between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I said, after we find a cure for this thing that's going around the world right now that I'm freaking out over, I want Johnny Depp and Amber Heard to drop their lawsuits against each other and just move on. And so many people came at me. When reports first surfaced, I was inclined to believe initially Amber Heard. Because historically and statistically, women do not make up allegations like this. In fact, it's the opposite. Historically and statistically, women refuse to share these stories for fear of reprisal, for fear of not being believed, etc., etc., etc. I could have been very wrong, and it turns out that Amber Heard is not as innocent as I thought. But you know what? I also believe that Johnny Depp is not as innocent as his fans would like to think. I'm not saying Johnny Depp was hurtful physically towards Amber Heard, but it's clear that their relationship was toxic, okay? And that was a two-way street. And just like he's made allegations against her, which have neither been proven true nor false, she has made allegations against him, which have neither been proven true nor false. And I remember he's got evidence, she's got evidence. She's even got video evidence. I remember that video that leaked where Johnny Depp, to me, frightened me. Johnny Depp, to me, seemed very threatening and out of it, okay? This man had issues with substances, okay? Alcohol is a substance. Alleged also issues with other substances. And it's two-way street, okay? He contributed to the dysfunction of this relationship. It wasn't just all Amber Heard. You can't just blame Amber Heard. You know, so at the end of the day, I don't really think either of them are going to win anything. At the end of the day, they both lose, I think, with this dragging out. That's just my opinion, okay? And I think she probably also had her own issues with substances. And yes, she's been accused of things by previous exes in the past. I think they're both at fault. I think they're both dirty in their own ways. I've not accused either. I personally have not accused one or the other of anything, but I stand behind what I said. Like, as a Hollywood insider and expert, somebody that's been doing what I do now for 16 years, I've lost track of time, Amos Neville. Neither of them are going to win. Because let's say in this one current case, this case of libel, right, and defamation, let's say Johnny Depp wins. Amber Heard is going to appeal it. Let's say Amber Heard wins. Johnny Depp is going to appeal it. Whomever wins, the other is going to appeal it. They're going to continue to battle it out in court for years to come, unless or until they agree to just drop it. I mean, if you remember, and I do, when these two announced they were splitting, they released a joint statement that they basically said that their relationship was toxic and they were both bad for each other. That's probably as true as we're ever going to get from the two of them. Anyways, speaking of awful men, I was reminded of something. Hey, Jordan Taylor. Good to see you. Yesterday, I spoke about Corey Feldman. Shannon Margera, thank you for the super chat. I've got to visit New Hampshire. I've never been there. Okay. Yesterday, during the live stream, I mentioned Corey Feldman's documentary. He named names, most of which he'd actually named before. And specifically, when talking about his late friend, Corey Haim, he said that Charlie Sheen was the person who violated Corey Haim on the set of the 80s film Lucas, back when Charlie Sheen was 19 and Corey Haim was just 13 years old. Well, back in the early 2000s, I believe it was in 2006, Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards were getting divorced. And in court, Charlie Sheen's then wife, Denise Richards, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, claimed that she walked in on Charlie Sheen looking at adult films, but not adult films, looking at Lorno films, or the letter after O, but instead of Lorno, it starts with the letter after O. You know what I mean? Pop, 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 pop. Anyways, triple. Anyways, he was looking at that kind of film. And Denise Richards claims in court that he was looking at underage boy on boy. Hi, a lot of unpleasant men to talk about today. Do you guys know, hopefully you do not know Alex Jones, but he's made a lot of headlines over the last few years for being problematic and awful, a conspiracy theorist, a denier, vile human being. The InfoWars D-bag, Alex Jones, was arrested earlier this week in Texas and charged with DWI, driving while intoxicated. And his wife also alleged a domestic dispute that he was, oh no, I don't know what happened. There we go. Phew. I almost lost you all. Anyways, am I still here? You guys still seeing me? So I had teased some Tori Spelling drama. Tori Spelling at war with her mother. As some of you remember, and I spoke about on my podcast, Tori Spelling was named and shamed by the state of California as being one of their biggest delinquent taxpayers. She owes the state of California hundreds of thousands of dollars. I reported that. She was not happy that I reported that. Then she and her husband started to comment on my Instagram when I shared that story. And her husband, Dean, both blamed their former business manager and denied reports that mother-in-law Candy Spelling pays for their children's school. Well, here is an exclusive for you all. I am very plugged in with the Spellings, not just with Tori because we have mutual friends. She's not my friend, but I know a lot of her friends. I also know people close to Candy Spelling, and my Candy Spelling insiders, impeccable sources, confirm without doubt that Candy has always paid the educational expenses of her grandchildren, basically calling Tori's husband a liar. And she's got 5 kids, private school for 5 or 6 kids, for 5 kids in Los Angeles, well over over $150,000 a year. And on top of paying for all of her kids' schooling, Grandma Candy also has set up trust funds for the kids to go to college. And on top of that, I am told that historically and regularly, Candy Spelling has bailed out Tori Spelling, has helped out providing financial assistance in addition to providing the money for the schooling. Who are we going to believe? Candy Spelling or Tori Spelling? I'm going to believe Candy Spelling. That's what my expert powers of deduction lead me to believe. All right. Speaking of dysfunctional families, Prince Harry is not looking to reconnect with his family, according to reports. As you saw earlier this week, there was a very awkward public outing where all of the British royal family was. And now we're told, yes, Harry misses his brother and his sister-in-law, Kate. However, they're cordial, but that's about as far as things are. There's been too much drama recently, and he just does not want to fix things. He does not want to make things better now. In the words of the Dixie Chicks, he's not ready to make nice. Which is sad because that's his only brother, his only sibling total. I'm not ready to back down. I'm still mad as hell and I don't got run to go round and round and round. It's too late to make it right. I probably wouldn't if I could. Thank you, Tara Holden. Also, speaking of Prince Harry, did you guys see that really funny story? He was hoodwinked by this Russian prankster who pretended to be Greta Thunberg, the Swedish young environmentalist, who somehow found out the phone number of the house in Vancouver Island where Prince Harry was staying and managed to get through with him and ended up talking to him on 2 separate occasions. How does he find out the phone number, or how did they, the pranksters, find out the phone number? And then how did they get through? Like, I'm not going to take a call I'm not expecting from Queen Elizabeth. I'm going to be or from whomever. Like, I don't know, like Madonna. Random. Also, speaking of family drama, Good Morning America co-host Michael Strahan has accused his ex-wife of being mentally and physically against their daughters. Their daughters are 15 years old. Twins, and they live in North Carolina. Michael Strahan is going to court trying to get custody of his daughters so that they can live with him in New York City. He's claiming that in addition to being abusive, the ex, Jean Mugli, also has just not been taking the girls to court-mandated therapy sessions, and that the mom, is the reason the kids keep missing equestrian events and volleyball matches, and it's dramatic. This is. In more family news, but thankfully not, still dramatic, just not bad, but it could have been bad. Angelina Jolie wrote an essay revealing that her 2 oldest daughters, Zahara and Shiloh, had to undergo surgeries recently. We don't know what surgeries Zahara had to go through, but we do know that Shiloh had some kind of hip surgery, or I don't know if it was a hip surgery, but after surgery, she was seen walking around on crutches. That explains why Brad Pitt missed the BAFTAs and was MIA for a good amount of awards season, because he wanted to be there for his daughters. Good dad. All right, speaking of families, of a very famous family, Kourtney Kardashian explains the worst part of raising kids as a celeb. She says, in a new interview, the worst though is when people I don't know give unsolicited parenting advice. No one knows my kids better than me. I've got this. I'm good. Thanks. Ingrate. You should be thankful that people care enough about you and your family to give their opinion and to want to help. I will welcome all unsolicited advice, okay? Because I appreciate every single person. I've also been around longer than the Kardashians. Granted, they have far surpassed me. They're in a whole other galaxy. And the Kardashians didn't come into prominence until 2007. I started in 2004. And, you know, I don't take you guys for granted. Having my career be a series of this really gives me perspective. So give me all the unsolicited advice you want. I appreciate you all so much. I don't have any advice. Well, I do have advice. I gave it yesterday. I have advice for Amanda Bynes. Go get help. Earlier in the week, it was reported that Amanda Bynes and her fiancé had called it quits. Well, now Amanda's fiancé is talking to the media. He spoke to the New York Post, Abby Tingle, and this guy, Paul Michael, insists that his Instagram was hacked. Layla, thank you. He claims his Instagram was hacked and that he and Amanda are still very much together. I don't know if that's a good thing. Hi, Fiona. You must have been having a busy day. Good to see you, Fiona. All I care about is that Amanda gets to the psychiatric facility that she was ordered to get to. All right. Niall Horan of One Direction in a new interview revealed that Zayn does not keep in touch with any of the other members of 1D. Some film news. Vin Diesel reveals that the Guardians of the Galaxy will be in the upcoming Thor 4, the Super Thor, where Christian Bale is going to be appearing in the movie, as well as Natalie Portman and others. And finally, what did you guys make of the Bachelor finale last night? I don't care, but I want to hear your thoughts. Also, I'm stressed because I know that my alarm is going to go off in 3 minutes. And when my alarm goes off, the live feed is going to cut. So I've got 3 minutes to answer your questions. Yes, Ana Jesus, the new podcast is coming out tomorrow. And I'll answer your questions for the next 2.5 minutes, but make sure to leave a comment down below, not just in the chat box. Please, leaving comments really helps. Liking this video really helps. Make sure you follow my family channel. I posted a video earlier today where I had a parent-teacher conference at my son's school, and I was very worried. Listen to my podcast at perezpodcast.com. Sign up for my newsletter at pereznewsletter.com. Buy some merch at buypopstuff.com. Get a personalized video greeting from me on the Starsona app or directly at starsona.com/Perez Hilton. Get my book at perezhiltonbook.com. Make sure you get the notifications turned on here in my other channel. Now I have 1.5 minutes to answer any questions that I can in 1.5 minutes. Amos Neville, my mom is still going to be going out and about, just wearing gloves. You have a great day too, Karen. Survivor 13. Thank you for the super chat. You are awesome. Yes, Roma, TMI, baby. Thank you for watching, Anastasia. I know, it's unfortunate that Corey Haim's own mother did not believe him. Hot Like Hero. Oh! Thank you, Hot Like Hero. Hot Like Hero. What a way to end. I have to end now. Thank you, Hot Like Hero. Thank you. What an epic super chat. You are epic, Hot Like Hero. Bless you. Bless you. Oh, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. I feel better after having made this video. I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Stay safe. Bye.